The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, Earnestly Speaking podcast. Let's get it. I'm a giant in New York, in Miami carry heat. So much more in store, my product can flood the street. Opinion Nation Godfather, CEO. Puff in the late 90s, gon' see me blow. Oh. Got my hustle on, no imitation of that. Army of untouchables, Opinion Nation staff. Never an off season, homie, check the numbers. Heart throbbing my own right, supplying southern comfort. Earnestly speaking, my ego is well fed. Earnestly speaking, you're too evil and no threat. See, I'm like a hurricane, you're a mild breeze. Earnestly speaking, leaving Eli a dynasty.
All right, welcome to Earnestly Speaking Podcast. I'm your host, Ernest DJ Christian. I am really excited about today's podcast, actually. We're going to do a two-parter here, as we actually are weighing down 18 more minutes to the train deadline. But guess what? That'll be a part two of the podcast today. I'm here, of course, with my man Jabari Davis of Lakers Nation. Jabari, what's up?
Not much, DJ. How are you and Lauren doing today?
Lauren, how you doing today? She's heard me too.
I don't know. I'm good.
Speak to the mic, baby.
Good.
This is not your first rodeo.
No, it's not my first rodeo. But I am speaking to the mic.
Okay.
I just, my voice is a lot softer than yours.
Oh. See, there you go. See?
Byron Scott wouldn't like that, just so that you know.
What was that?
Soft. Byron Scott would not like that. Don't be soft, Lauren. Man up, Lauren.
We got to talk about Byron Scott a little bit on the part two, because, Mm-hmm. Before we go, let me ask you a question, Barry. Have you seen Deadpool yet, the movie?
I haven't. I plan on seeing it eventually. I usually will I'll wait the crowd out a little bit, and, it'll still be just as good in a couple weeks.
My suggestion, see it soon. If you can, let me know how you like it. I think it's one of the best well-written, it's very vulgar. You don't care, obviously, but it's very vulgar for a Marvel, for Marvel comic, type of thing that in the theaters. It's way past what do you think?
And people, please understand that this is a Marvel movie made for adults. Do not take your children to see it.
Oh,
Don't.
yeah. How about this, Jabari? You have people complaining on social media. Oh, I Deadpool was great, but my kids, it was too much cursing in the movie. I'm like, you realize there's an R rating for a reason, right? You don't take your kids to the movie. I don't get people. Jabari, when do people get so stupid?
Look, you know me. I'm usually the type where I'm like, get off your soapbox with your morality police nonsense. If you go to a rated R movie, first of all, if you're taking your kid to a rated R movie, that's on you. You know what I mean? That's on you. Look, if you are going to see that movie, go and enjoy it. If your kid can handle it, cool. If you can't, then go take them to see, I don't know, Kung Fu Panda 3 or some nonsense like that. But, yeah, come on.
I know I'm late to the party here. And I've been posting on social media about this the last couple of weeks. I did finally watch and finish Ray Donovan. Well, I don't say finish, I'm caught up on Ray Donovan. My thing is, why did I wait so long to watch this damn show?
I mean, that's on you. That's on you, man.
Can I just say, this has been, that's one of the fastest shows that I've ever moved through with Ernest. I am like, a champion binge watcher. Okay? I can sit there and knock out a series in a week. But it took us not very long to catch up on Ray Donovan, to just watch season 1 all the way to the end of season 3, and I almost left him behind, on the days that he works, because it's so good.
I actually sacrificed podcasts and writing and stuff for the show a couple of times, and sleep. That's how good it was.
I mean, so hey, when it's good like that, you kind of have to. I did the same thing. It reminds me, and it's not the show, but the pace of it. Reminds me of Breaking Bad, because I actually binge watched it with an ex of mine, and did literally the same exact thing. Everybody else was all up on it. I think I started when everybody was waiting for season 4 to come back. I finally watched season 1, and then literally watched every night, all night, pretty much all the time, and it was kind of ridiculous. But yeah, so no, good stuff. I'm glad you finally caught up on it because it's a great show.
Very Soprano-ish though.
Yeah.
How do you say that though?
Well, I mean, this the dialogue on one, and then just the overall
But I mean,
atmosphere.
we haven't even watched
Yeah,
most of The Sopranos.
Yeah, but you already can tell. Well, okay. Full disclosure, and Jabari, you're gonna hate me because we've had this discussion in the past. I mean, I'm still behind a lot of HBO shows, like The Wire, of course, one. The Sopranos on that list also too. We started season 1. Actually, did 2 seasons of Sopranos actually.
Well, we got into the middle of season 2, and then you stopped because you couldn't.
Yeah, it's called the NBA playoffs.
No, it was
well.
it was called You Can't Take a Dramatic Show Like That for Too Long.
Whoa.
Oh.
Whoa.
Well.
That's what you told me.
Shots fired on your own show.
You told me you had to stop watching it because you needed a bit of comedy.
No. What happened was the big three had its last run, and we had I had Miami Heat things to take care of.
That's not true.
Don't say.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's
Okay.
not true.
Guys. So, EJ, when she says that, how does that make you feel?
Right now, you can't tell right now on this thing. Less of a man.
It's not a bad thing. I understand that
That's
you have
a
to
man
show
right
a little
now,
bit of.
brother.
I don't mean to knock your manhood. I mean, you're very manly.
No.
Yo, did you hear that, Ray Manley?
Well, I mean, you can't. Men don't usually take drama well, so I mean,
I love drama. You
it
kidding
makes
me?
you,
I love drama.
you can't. I don't know. Men don't usually sit down and watch, dramatic shows like that.
Update: Marquise Morris to the Wizards for a first-round pick.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Way to segue.
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, by the way, we're going to be updating the draft, the trend line as we go along. 13 minutes ago, and counting. Yeah, I think this show's well written. It has a Breaking Bad mentality in the sense that there's really not one character you really like on the show. Like Breaking Bad for me.
Where are we at?
Ray Donovan.
Okay.
Because Breaking Bad for me, and it's funny, Jabari, you and I have never discussed Breaking Bad really on the podcast, and I'm glad you brought it up. That show is the show where there's not one character you can really gravitate to and say, oh, I like this character. He's a well-rounded guy. He's a stand-up guy. Everybody on Breaking Bad, you hate for the most part. Same thing with Ray Donovan.
That's not true.
What do you mean that's not true? Who do you like on Ray Donovan? Who's flawed? Who's not flawed in that show?
I love Terry.
All right, Terry. Okay, Terry.
I love Bunchy.
Okay.
I love Ray Donovan, even though he cheats on his wife.
Even though Bunch is a murderer.
Bunchy is not a murderer.
Well,
Ray Donovan is a murderer.
Okay, right. Well, Ray Donovan's a scumbag.
Okay.
But it's a cool scumbag, though.
Okay, and I also,
By the way,
I think I like Abby.
Abby. Well, you like Abby?
She's up and down.
Jamar, you like Abby? Abby's a little annoying, but she means well.
Yeah. Sometimes
I won't lie to you, EJ. I'm a little bit different. When people say like they cheer for the bad guy growing up, and like they say it because it sounds good. I literally did. Like I cheered for Darth Vader. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I like these shows. I like these shows specifically because of that. So yeah, I like all the characters. I like especially because they're flawed, because like they show because it's so well written, and they show the peaks and the valleys of relationships, of marriages, of friendships, of associations. So I certainly appreciate kind of the real the realness of it.
Wait, so then I when I go to California next year, I expect to see a Gus Fring poster in your bedroom?
Not necessarily a poster, but you know what? I was a Gus Fring fan as well, and just like a Walter.
They have a Gus Fring pop figure that has half of his face missing.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm buying that.
There you go.
No, Ray Donovan, like, that show was so intense for me. I literally, at moments, caught myself talking like a Northeastern. Well, I am Northeastern. I'm from New York, but talk like a Bostonian a couple times.
You know what that show made me do?
What?
I started using the F word a lot more.
Oh yeah, the word fuck was in that show is pretty well.
Well, it's like every other word out of Abby's mouth.
Yeah,
every other word.
She's the worst one of all of them. Yeah. What do you see the show going now? Like, spoiler alert. The last thing we saw was Ray in the car with the priest. Was it Ray in the car? It was Ray and the priest, right? In the car, going down the streets. Yeah. What I was confused there. I mean,
he's taking him to the hospital.
The hospital or turn him in?
To the hospital because he's shot.
I'll turn him in.
He can turn him in through the hospital, but he has to take him to the hospital.
Jabari, you think the priest turns him in for the murder?
No.
It's going to sound weird, but I don't think he does. I think that I could see them going, in some weird direction with it. The only reason why I don't think he turns him in is because if he does, there's no way that Ray gets off this. You know what I mean? There's no way that Ray gets away with it. And by unless they're ending the show next season, which it certainly doesn't seem like they are, I could see a different twist coming up.
I was a little confused there for a second.
See, I like a lot more characters on Ray Donovan than I do in Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I
hated almost everybody in Breaking Bad.
You end up hating Walter more than everybody else, especially too.
I hated almost everybody in that show.
The best
character.
Who's that?
Skyler.
Oh, she hates
in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, she hates Skyler.
I fucking hate
her. She hated from day one. Yeah, Skyler's the most.
She's one of those you want to punch in the face. If you the shit she does, you just want to.
I didn't say, by the way, she did.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, let's make it very clear. The two black men on this show did not say that.
Yes. No, but the wife of a black man did say that, though.
Hey, do what you do.
What does it have to do with anything, okay?
I know.
I want to punch people in the face, too.
Lauren, I'm going to tell you what it has to do with. You didn't mean it like that, and neither do I. But it's very like when you said it, it was like, ooh, I better not even. I had to consider how I even responded to that, simply because some people will, it makes them uneasy. If I were to say yes, and I'm saying this for effect. If I were to say, yeah, I want to punch Skyler in her face. Not the same.
If I say that, it will. Yeah, if I said that or Jabari said that won't come out too good in the public.
Well, I'm a white woman, and if I want to punch somebody in the face, I might just do it.
Do it.
And that might be acceptable, actually.
I'm sorry. I'm going to start flying Lauren in, and I mean in an appropriate sense. Like, anytime I want to punch somebody in the face, I'm like, oh, wait, you know what? Hold on.
I got a sidekick.
Lauren, take care of this. Take care of this. Take care of that puncher.
Man. I mean, like I said, I think the direction of the show is going it's going in a very good direction. That was the only part I think that threw me off was the and I think when you do that, that's the reaction they want. Going to the sun, into the highway up. Was it with the 405? I guess it was the 405.
I don't know.
It's definitely California. It looked the 405 to me.
I have no idea. The 405. That's
I seriously
more.
Want to know: is Calabasas a real city in California?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just does not sound like one.
Yeah, it is. Calabasas.
Yes. A lot of money out there. A lot of good money out there.
It does not sound like a city.
Calabasas is in Orange County, right?
No, it's not. Calabasas is just outside the San Fernando Valley. I don't even know. It might even technically be in the San Fernando Valley, but it's just would it be west of Woodland Hills? Yeah, it's up to 101.
That's their Neverland, actually, I think.
You would know.
No, it's their Neverland. Michael Jackson's house. Well, former house.
Yeah. Oh, that's another 2 hours past Calabasas down to 101.
Right.
Yeah. And your listeners are like, why are we giving directions to? Yeah. What the hell are we giving California directions for? Yeah, come on.
Is Calabasas a real city? Well, let's check it out. Babe, you should Google it if we come on the show.
Check out the Googler.
It just doesn't sound like a city.
And this is the woman who wants to move to California so bad. Strike one. She's dying.
Well, maybe you should look into Calabasas. There you go.
I can't afford that shit. I can barely afford to go to Costa Mesa.
Yeah, it's a different type of money, but yeah.
That's true.
Anyway, moving on.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
How you liking the direction of Game of Thrones so far?
Okay, the only thing I love Game of Thrones. I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm a Game of Thrones nerd. I'm the type where if you talk about it before I've seen it, I probably don't like you, even a little bit.
You want to punch him in the face? You want to punch him in the face?
I need Lauren to punch you in the face. There you go. That's just going to be my answer for everything at this stage. If you tell me about Game of Thrones prior to me finding out, on my own, I'm flying Lauren in. No, it's great. I'm really intrigued to see which direction they go with Jon Snow. If you know the story, I did not read the books, but I did do the very, new age thing of reading the Cliff Notes version, online. And the arc of his story doesn't seem to be done. So it would seem as though he is going to come back, but we'll see.
That's what I keep
He
hearing.
can't be done.
That's what I keep hearing. I mean, I remember going on radio on Fox on of Fox Sports with Steve Borstein the day after the show. He brought me on the show specifically to talk about Game of Thrones.
Apparently,
and
his eyes turned purple.
Yeah.
At the very tail end, his eyes turned purple, and apparently that means he's Targaryen.
For the watch. For the watch.
For the watch.
Yeah, the watch when they killed him. They killing him, stabbing him. That was so Julius Caesar.
Okay, what's his face? The little kid. Ollie? Is that his name? He's another one I want to punch in the face.
The little kid that shot him first?
Yes!
Yep.
Flyman.
Joffrey, that little kid. There's a lot. But yeah, once...
Joffrey, put it like this. I'm so glad.
You're saying Ollie's on Joffrey levels?
No, not quite. I guess because Jon Snow was my favorite character, or I'll say is still hopefully my favorite character. That's why it bugged me so much. Exactly. He's like the one innocent guy in the show. If you really think about it, like the Starks kind of across the board have been, to varying degrees. But he's the one that really didn't deserve it. But every so often, I will admit, I go back and I watch Joffrey's in that final scene, just because I couldn't stand him that much.
Just because you cheer, you jump up and cheer.
Yeah. Yep. I revel in the way he died because it was one of those slow deaths, like he was in pain and then it's like take it.
Wow. List number one on my list of things I did not expect to hear during this conversation was take it.
But I will say though, who's coming close to be one of the guys I can't stand the show also, evil person, want to call it, like on Joffrey levels is Ramses Bolton. That's another guy who's like on that level almost.
Wait, who?
Ramsey Bolton. Ramsey or Ramsey? Ramsey Bolton.
Now I'm drawing a blank which character it is.
He's the one who was the bastard son and his.
Oh, yes.
The flame.
There's so many subplots, Jabari, that we forget certain storylines because it's easy to get lost in the show.
Ramsey's just a prick.
Oh my God, Ramsey's the best. How he's doing?
Oh, you like Ramsey?
Hey, look, Reek deserved every single bit of that. Every single bit of that. So he's a scumbag, but I like him. Remember, I care for the bad guy.
Yeah, okay, but then you hate Joffrey. I don't understand that.
Because Joffrey's a spoiled, rotten brat, is what he is. Okay,
look,
so it's not like a Darth Vader bad guy. Like we love Darth Vader now. Growing up, it was all about Luke and Han Solo and Princess Leia, and now we're all like, yay, Stormtroopers and Darth Vader.
No, straight up. If Joffrey was real about it, I would respect it. Remember the battle scene when Joffrey's like, "Oh no, I want no part of this. I'm going to go hide out."
Correct.
It's like if you're going to be an evil scumbag, embrace it. Embrace the dark side. Don't be a punk about it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you enjoy the Cersei shame walk?
15,000. First of all, she thought like, okay, Mercy, I'm going to be able to no strip that hair off, take them clothes off. That was fantastic. Plus, she's hot, but that's beside the point.
That was riveting, the theater, though, watching that. That was actually great theater watching that, though.
It's so painful, such a long, it was so excruciating because it's like HBO's like, no, it's not just going to be a quick little scene. No, 3 minutes of this. Keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was another ticket moment. It was. It really was.
Yep.
But yep. I will say this though. I think went through this season and the shame walk the whole 9. I think her character is going to become even darker now because of it.
Oh, she's got to.
She's going to be more of a bitch.
Yeah.
She's not even going to become darker. She's just going to be like, okay, fuck you.
Dad ain't going to throw in you're cool. She's just going to keep it. It's just going to all be okay. No, I mean, look. If you paid attention to the show at all, you know that she's not about to let that slide. Right? Every single one of them are gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
If she can.
Like I said, April 14th or April 9th? What day is it called?
April 21st
4th
or 26th?
24th.
Wait, which is the Sunday?
I don't know, but April can't come fast enough, man. It really can't. I was shocked though that they didn't show the what's the name of those guys that were like
It's
took over?
the 24th.
Oh, it's 24th. You're right. Week before my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was shocked that they didn't show anything else after the initial takeover by the White Walkers. Not the White Walkers. The shit, damn it. Not the White Walkers, right?
Yeah. What about
Yeah.
them?
They took over on episode 8 or 9. Those scenes when they're at the end of the coast and all the other guys run away, go on the boat.
16.
That was first of all, that was a great scene. That whole like last 10 minutes of it. I think it's actually better than the Red Wedding.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think it's on that kind of level.
It was more.
Well, okay.
Well, it was more epic. The Red Wedding was more shocking. Red Wedding was like, oh.
You want to hear?
Can I just say, okay, with the Red Wedding, when the guy stabs what's her face, who's pregnant,
Rob Stark's wife.
yeah, right in the belly. I wanted to. That's another want to punch somebody in the face.
Tell the real story.
I mean,
wait, tell the real
George
story.
R. Martin, like he pissed me off with that.
Wait,
scene.
no, Lauren. Tell the real story. What happened to you that day you watched that for the first time? How'd you react?
It was probably how long after Eli was born?
A year.
It was a year. Okay. I never used to be one of those people that if something happened to a baby on a TV show, it was like, okay, whatever. You know, I'd still
Just
continue
TV.
the show. But when I saw that, I freaked out.
Oh,
I
she
was
flipped.
shaking. I was crying. I called my best friend because she's a Game of Thrones nut.
Fanatic.
And she was supposed to warn me ahead of time if something like that happened.
And she never did.
And she didn't warn me because she forgot.
She flipped out like that scene when
I was a wreck.
when they were stabbing the baby, they were stabbing the stomach, and then like Lauren like flipped out, and we paused the show.
Like,
they made a pause it.
I almost couldn't.
She went to the bathroom, had to start
I was
crying.
like, I was shaking and I was crying and I was just like.
But that's kind of the effect that they want you to have, though.
That's only happened to me because I'm a new mother. That's why. It's not one of those things that would have typically happened. I would have just continued on. Okay, what happened? Whatever.
Right.
You know, but because
I gotta be honest with you, it wasn't just because of that. Because I had the same reaction. I didn't start crying, but I was physically bothered by it
Really?
so much so. I was again, and nothing bugs me, but it was because it was like, oh, she's all pregnant. Bam, 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 bam. Oh no! You know what I mean? Like you couldn't have prepared for it. That was one of the more disturbing scenes that I've seen. Except for when he burnt his daughter. When
that bothered me.
Stannis,
right?
Stannis burnt his daughter up. Same thing to me.
Yep. Same thing.
Yeah, that
Come
one.
on, it's little kids. The kids, man, the kids.
The kids, man, they.
It's when they're good kids. Like if Joffrey had died, before he was,
Oh yeah.
then I would have been okay with it. But when it's little kids like that who are innocent and are good kids, and even like unborn, like it bothers the crap out of me. Now, especially.
Well, I hear you.
Well, it's funny though. I mean, they're pushing buttons down the show. They're pushing. I mean, between the scene with Cersei and of course you have like 2 scenes where they kill a baby, unborn baby, as well as the kid on the stake. I mean, they're really pushing buttons here now. I mean, I wouldn't say it's risky because it's HBO, but isn't it a bit risky to do that now?
It is not risky.
To be so blunt like that.
Nope,
Even on HBO.
It's not risky.
If it were on network TV, maybe, but HBO, you're literally paying. It's like saying like you're going to a drug dealer for some drugs. Oh man, these drugs are too strong. You came for me. You came for this. This is what you wanted.
Honestly, they're doing it on network television as well. Lately, anyway, like especially like with things like American Horror Story.
Yeah, that's true.
They've done. One of them had like a clothes hanger abortion, like a clothing hanger, like a wire hanger.
I guess it's just a little bit more graphic on HBO because they can show literally everything.
Right.
Yes.
They don't leave anything to the imagination.
No.
Which I appreciate.
Yes.
Do you watch American Horror Story?
Absolutely.
I don't watch. That's her show. I don't watch that.
I am not caught up on the last season. I'm like more than halfway through, but I just have.
I will say this though: the little I've seen this season with Lady Gaga, I think she's incredible.
She was. And remember, I was not a Lady Gaga fan.
Yep.
When she came to the show, I was like, oh god, okay, it kind of jumped the shark now. She was great. She was absolutely great.
Well, see, the thing is I knew she would be that way because I'm not a huge Lady Gaga fan, but like she's just kind of like, oh, okay, it's Lady Gaga, and the thing is when with that show, like you kind of knew she was going to be great because she's that way on stage. She doesn't care, and she does all these crazy costumes and crazy things, and you just kind of knew she was going to be great in that character, and like as soon as you saw her, you were like, whoa, she's good.
Yeah. No.
I'm actually very I mean, not to change the topic here, but I'm kind of fascinated by this whole change of this kind of change of pace she's done this last couple of years with her career. Like, she's really changed the pace here a lot, and like people are starting to respect her a lot now. Like, she had a great Grammy performance on Monday. I didn't see it, but I was told it was a great performance. Obviously, the Super Bowl national anthem got great reviews. Now you have American Horror Story. This is a very fascinating time in her career now. Like, she's really starting to be looked at as a respectable artist than before.
Well, she can sing. The girl can sing. It's just.
But you wouldn't know that though with the music she was doing.
She Lady Gaga's it up. It
hides the talent. It hides the talent.
Right.
But if you think about it, she's an artist. At the same time, she's an artist and an entertainer. So, like, there's a natural not just transition, but progression in terms of how she wants, how she wants to be perceived or how she wants to express herself. I guess I see where you're coming from, but I'm one of those people that it doesn't surprise me. It actually surprises me when someone stays exactly the same all the way through.
Yeah.
Update: Kurt Heinrich traded to the Hawks.
Okay, what other shows are we talking about?
Oh, yeah. Oh, OJ. OJ. I've had a real, ever since they announced this miniseries back in like October last year, real hard on for this whole thing. Cause I'm like one of the biggest OJ Simpson, like, the trial, the whole trial and the investigation, the whole nine, obsessed since the day it happened in 94.
You should have gone into like
law,
justice, or law, because you're obsessed with those things, which is cool.
Yeah, probably so.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Back then, I wasn't obsessed with it. I mean, it kind of was what it was. Of course, you couldn't be alive and not be swept up in it, especially if you were of a certain age. I was a teenager, an early teenager. When everything first started taking place, and over the course of it,
hold on, Jabari, you old man. I'm talking about you're older than me. I was 14 when that happened.
I was okay. So. Let's add these up, EJ. We 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and on and so on. If you're 14, you're an early teen.
Don't you got 5 years on me? I'm kidding.
No. No, but you know what I mean. If you were old enough to pay attention to it, to know the names, there was at least some amount of intrigue. Of course, my attention increased over the course of the trial, and especially toward the end, and especially definitely at the end with the verdict, because of the ripple effect from a social aspect that it took place. But it's refreshing to me because it's like, as an adult, it's nice to go back and see some of this, even though it is somewhat dramatized. It's great to kind of be refamiliarized with it.
Do you remember where you were during the chase?
Yeah, I was at my uncle's house watching the game. Just like everybody else.
Yep, game 5.
Saying, what the hell I don't understand. What is going on? Why am I, wait, hold up. That's OJ? Wait, that freeway literally passed right by us? And yes, that did take place. The chase passed by us probably by about 2 miles.
Wow.
Okay, all I want to know from OJ is, well, to the viewers out there, I was about 8 years old, so I do not remember the trial at all. I remember the name O.J. Simpson, but I don't remember anything
God, I feel
else.
fucking old now.
All I want to know is, did he actually act that way? Was he that crazy?
Within, like we don't know.
He's so over-emotional. He's so irrational. The things he says, the way he acts, he's just... I want to know if that's how he actually
I think what she's saying, and this is what I was interested about this whole thing too, was not so much the outside stuff. We already know the end result of the whole thing, but the inside, what was his actual
wait, don't tell me.
behavior? No, I won't tell you, because I'm saying, I'm curious if this show is actually consistent with how he actually really was, according to Jeffrey Tobin's book.
Yeah, no, I was just kidding. I was saying, like, don't tell me the ends.
I missed that part.
No,
Hung jury,
there's
Jabari,
really no way.
jury.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, is that how it coming out? All right, cool. At least I know. Perry Mason at the end. All right.
Yeah.
Come on, you know Perry was getting them all. Perry was doing it. I totally just aged myself, and I'm not going to make a Matlock reference.
I told you old, bro. Listen to me. There you go.
No, I'm with you on that. It would be really interesting to see like what these individuals actually did and what they actually said, and just how much of it is dramatized. Because it's a fascinating piece to say the least. I think you said you guys were a week behind, so I won't give you any spoilers of the actual show, not of history, but you know what I mean. But I definitely recommend catching up.
Oh yeah, we're watching it. As soon as we get off this podcast, we're going to be watching that. So
good.
Jabari.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you watch Making a Murderer?
Not yet. I know I know that was the thing, but I haven't gotten into it yet. It'll be one of these nights.
Nice segue, because I want to ask you a question. Give me and Lauren, or our listeners here, some recommendations of shows that you may have watched in the last year or last 6 months that they may have watched. Recent shows that you like. That's your thing, also outside the Lakers and NBA, of course. TV show binging is your thing, man. We've discussed this on this podcast for years, you and I. So what shows now?
Yeah, Mr. Robot was an intriguing one. Look, a lot of people, you know me, I'm one of those where if something's good, I'm going to give it credit. But sometimes people give things a little bit too much credit simply because it's the end thing. I'm intrigued to see where they go with that story next season, but I definitely enjoyed it.
Was it My Robot, you said?
Huh?
What show is that? My Robot?
Mr. Robot.
Mr. Robot. You know about that?
Yeah, it's a USA show.
Okay.
The standard ones. Even though I was a Walking Dead fan, for years, it's starting to peter off a little bit. But I'll of course continue with that storyline and see it all the way through.
I stopped off season 2 actually, bro. Season 2 I stopped off.
It's another one with the kid.
That was one of those shows where you couldn't have any sympathy or any sads, you know what I mean? And just this past week, the episode that just took place, and I won't give it away, but let's just say multiple kids got it in that one.
Ooh, goodbye.
But some other recent ones, actually I was late for the Silicon Valley train. In fact, I didn't like it the first couple times I tried to watch it. Then I tried to binge watch. Actually, I binge watched it one time and watched three straight episodes, and finally got the joke, and then that was it. I was all in.
Yeah, and that's the shows on my radar too, because I'm like the Mike Judge. Mike Judge is the director of the show, and I'm a big Mike Judge fan. He was a Butthead, of course, Office Space, the whole nine. So I do want to see this, and I've heard good things about Silicon Valley.
It's definitely worthwhile. I mean, it's not going to be for everybody, but it's like. I definitely don't want to bring up the Big Bang Theory because I know that's your guys' show, and you know that I never got into it. But I would say it's like that type of vibe, but like an HBO show, so you can actually be funny without editing stuff. But you know me, I like the unedited, unfiltered version.
Right, me
of everything.
too. You know what's funny about that though? Big Bang Theory now, more and more. I remember we had that discussion a couple of years ago. It was you and I think somebody else said they hated that show. I see more people now out there who actually hate the show more than like it. I'm seeing more haters of that show.
Particular taste. It's one of those, especially with the Sheldon character. Like you kind of have to. You either love it or you hate it. No,
right. But what I'm saying is that there wasn't a lot of that when it first came out. I mean, it's one of the most popular shows on television. When it first came out, everyone was like, "Oh, this show's funny." And a lot of people now don't like the show anymore. Like, a lot of people are like, "It's so stupid." And I guess the trend is it's too trendy. I got too trendy for a while.
Well,
Oh, I'm sorry. Good.
No, I think that show got a little bit too trendy after a while. Everybody started loving it. I guess people got tired of loving it.
I think it's. I think where we're at now, it's starting to kind of pick up again, but it did kind of like teeter off for a while, and it at times can be somewhat unrealistic. But I mean, if you're, I'm a nerd, so I understand a lot of what they say, a lot of the jokes. If you are not into that, if you are not, into things like Doctor Who and Lord of the Rings and, every other joke they come up with, then you're not going to like it because you're not going to get half the jokes.
Yeah, and she's exactly right, because I probably got half of the jokes and thought, like, the half that I'm getting aren't funny, so no thanks. But it's totally a particular audience, and if you vibe with it, I definitely see the appeal.
Right. Have you watched Fargo yet?
Which what?
Fargo.
No, not yet, and that's actually next on my list. I'm going to do season 1 probably. I might even do it this weekend because I got some extra time. I got some spare time. Fargo's next. I was going to recommend Better Call Saul as well as Billions.
Yes.
Those
Billions is on our radar. We also just started House of Lies last weekend.
fantastic.
Good show.
Oh, you know what? I just realized I pictured House of Cards in my head when you said that.
House of
Lies. Don Cheadle. Okay, it's fun. It's a Showtime show. You know what I mean? So it's fun. It's somewhat clever. Too much, talking directly to the camera in season 1 to me.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that was, it was kind of like its thing. But it got better as it went on.
Okay.
It's still kooky and crazy, but it's a fun Showtime show.
Like when they talk to
Yeah, Billions. Right. Yeah, Billions actually is a show I saw while watching Donovan. And I was like, whoa, I think I'm gonna watch this. This looks pretty interesting.
Deadpool does that too, by the way, just so you're warned.
Oh, I know. I've read the the reviews on it, and I'm prepared for it. Plus, Ryan Reynolds is a funny dude, so I'm good with it.
He's
hysterical. There's a show on Hulu. I don't know if you have Hulu yet. Called November 22nd, 1963. Obviously, it's JFK. Date 11/22/63. It's the day JFK died. It's getting a lot of
James Franco.
James Franco's in the show, but it's directed by J.J. Abrams and somebody else. Getting a lot of pub now.
Honestly, I know the story. I have a nerd-like love for history. So as soon as you said the date, I already knew, what it was without, it's one of those where if I ever get access to Hulu, I probably would watch it. Or somebody can loan me access to Hulu. I probably would watch it.
Nudge, wink, wink type.
No,
is that nudge, wink, wink?
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say, from what I understand, the premise of the show though really is more so trying to change. These are time travelers trying to change history.
You know what I mean?
Oh. And does it show the ripple effects of that change, like the butterfly effect, essentially?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You just intrigued me enough to where I'm like, okay, well, let's look into this Hulu.
Yeah. First off, and I texted you this a couple days ago. I think Hulu and Netflix do some good stuff, man. Their original program is really stepping up.
Every channel now, especially in every outlet, especially the streaming ones, are that's the thing. That's absolutely the thing, and I love it because being that I love film, I love crappy film, I love good shows, I love bad shows. I call them craptastic. Bad shows where no matter what, I just have to watch. The same thing with films. Look, if you're putting it out there, I'm probably at least going to give you a watch or two. So no, I love the direction that we're currently going.
Did you see the new Star Wars?
Not yet. Nope.
Neither have I. Update: Clippers trade Lance Stevenson to the Grizzlies for Jeff Green.
Oh. Okay.
So Lance.
Okay. Would you like me to go so you guys can do your stuff?
No. What was done here? No, we will in a second. No, just do you have recommendations for Jabari for shows that we might like that you not watch yet?
Well, definitely Making a Murderer if he hasn't seen it.
Yeah, Making a Murderer. That's a documentary. So that's a documentary.
Oh yeah.
And I would strongly advise you to watch it with an open mind, which I'm sure you will. Because I came out of that even more confused than ever.
Like I said, I've heard nothing but positive stuff about it in terms of the intrigue. I did hear that you'll be potentially frustrated at the end of it. But no, I hear you. I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, you will be frustrated, and it's even worse. It's a white man, especially involved in this. A white man.
Oh, so that caused all types of frustration. You never mind. I'm not going to go to that.
We ain't touching that one. Oh man. Well, any recommendations for Jabari? Maybe he may not known.
What are
some shows?
Have you ever seen Sherlock?
Oh yes.
Was that the one with Lucy Liu and?
No. That's Elementary. The one on BBC. It's on Netflix, by the way. It's on Netflix. It's with what's the name again?
Cumberbatch.
Yeah. I started watching one episode and said, you know what, this is a good show, but it was late at night, and I never got back to it. It's in queue.
It's a great show. It's only 3 episodes per season. It's a mini series, pretty much but each episode is 2 hours.
Luther?
It's definitely worth the watch.
An hour and a half long.
Worth the watch. You'll get done with it quickly. They take a lot of time between seasons to make it, like 2 years, 3 years in between seasons to make it. But it's a phenomenal show. I mean, I'm obsessed with it.
Well, nice. Okay, so like three episodes, like kind of like how they were doing with Luther.
Which one?
Which one?
Wait, have you guys not seen Luther?
Luther?
Yeah.
No.
Wow. Okay.
What station?
Put that. That is BBC America as well. You can get it on Netflix. Seasons 1 through 3 were fantastic. This last season that they finally released just recently. I won't give anything away, but just get through seasons 1 through 3 and also watch season 4. It's good stuff. It's Idris Elba. A bunch of other, pretty well-known, British actors. Crime and Punishment, but with a twist.
I find it funny. I find that the Brits are making better TV than the Americans are now.
Well, I mean, they've been doing it longer. They've been acting longer.
I mean, the quality is still great, though. I mean, and all the actresses, all British or European, like on top of the game, like Abby and Ray Donovan's from Ireland. She's not American.
Everybody in Game of Thrones is English.
Right. It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think what it is we're now starting to we have the access to their shows now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and they're actually getting promoted. Whereas before, we just knew like, oh, that's just British movies. And British
is they're a lot more open-minded than we are. Like, we have
way more liberal than we are. Yeah.
Well, there are certain writers and things like that. Like, you have for Sherlock, it's a guy named Stephen Moffat, who also writes for Doctor Who, and he's like real sick and twisted. And you have quite a few of those out in England and over there. And here it's just we have a few that'll write things like that are kind of like beyond what your typical television show. So
like outside the box type stuff.
Like we have Joss Whedon here, and he of course does Buffy and Firefly and other things like that, which that's I love that stuff. But I think like I'd love to go live in England or just spend a lot of time out there just to kind of see what it's like, because I think they're just a lot more open-minded than we are.
Of course they are.
No, I hear you. Maybe could it be? Just throwing it out there. It could be as I guess the further you get away from the Hollywood machine, maybe the more free you can be with your art.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So I totally see where you're coming from. Maybe that's the case.
I want to rehash last topic. I want to rehash this topic from like a couple years ago when we did this, because we've had 4 years since this last conversation between us three. Best and worst endings in all time in TV history. I know when I mentioned to you on text a couple days ago, Jabari, you were kind of worried, like,
worst
oh no.
Worst I've seen so far is Dexter.
Yeah, Dexter's pretty bad.
Especially because of how great it was through the first 4 seasons. It was just a train wreck all the way down, and then it got to, and then when you thought it couldn't get any worse, they said, no, here's season 8. There you go.
Well, you know it's bad when they acknowledge it themselves. When the actors themselves acknowledge at the end that it was pretty bad.
Yep. I'm trying to think of some that are worse than that. I can't think of any, especially because I liked it so much.
We've heard The Sopranos was bad. The ending of Sopranos.
Okay, so here's the deal with the end of Sopranos. I'm not going to give it away to you, but a lot of people didn't understand it, and I can raise my hand because initially when I first saw it, I said, "Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get this at all. What the heck? And then, okay, so again, if you have to explain it, I guess to a certain degree, it can't be as quality as you want. But then once it's explained, it's like, oh no, that was actually kind of brilliant. Watch the show. I'll link you to something that gives a perfect breakdown of it, and then you literally go like, aha! And it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I had something like that happen to me recently with Gilmore Girls, only it was kind of the opposite. Where the ending of it is kind of like, oh, okay, that's the end. And you're like, okay, whatever. And then I read an article that just kind of like completely killed it for me.
Yeah.
And
that's the work.
Like it just kind of, and then you read this article and you go back and you watch the ending again and you're like, son of a bitch. Like you just get so pissed off.
Yeah.
You get so mad. But they're bringing it back, and apparently the writer for the show, she wasn't Amy Sherman Palladino, I think her name is.
Right.
She wasn't there for the last season, so she's kind of going to, like, when they come back.
Yeah, they're bringing the show on Netflix again. On Netflix.
Not that either of you would want to watch that. That's a very...
I still might watch that show. It's very
show.
It's very well written, though. Like, writing-wise, it's well written, though. Very well written, though. I have my guilty pleasures.
I gotta admit, I have plenty of guilty pleasures. I never watched that show, so I can't say one way or the other. Admit this though. Fuller House is coming back next 2 weeks. You're gonna watch it, aren't you? I'm not. Certain shows I look back on and I'm like, oh man, if that was my show. Full House, I was just the guy. Nothing against it. You know what? I was more of a Family Matters guy. I'll be honest about it.
I was too until season 5.
If you bring Carl back,
I was also until then it got that show went to shit pretty quick though, after like 5 years in.
Well, a lot of shows do that, but yeah, basically, the second half or the back end of a lot of shows, especially when when it's like a family show, and then once the kids grow up, it's kind of like okay. Once it's no longer the adorable little kid with the quip or the quick remark or you're teaching a kid. Now it's like, oh no, that's just okay. They're all teenagers and they're all like, ugh, or they're all in college. Kind of what do you do with it?
Yeah,
nah, but I hear you.
It's safe to say that I think only myself and Jordan Buscarini, the only people who are actually excited about Fuller House coming back.
I'm excited about
I'm sure there's some.
Huh?
I'm sure you got some others that are out there with you.
Yeah.
100% in solidarity.
Jesse and the Rippers.
Another good ending. Well, okay. Scrubs kind of did that. It got real weird in the middle. And then for season 8, they kind of brought it back and made it more like season 1. So it got real great. And then the ending of that was phenomenal. That's one of my favorite endings to a series ever. And then they did season 9, which was just kind of
a new cast for everything else.
Yeah, it was mostly a new cast. It was just kind of like not really Scrubs. So they gave you the ending that you wanted to Scrubs, and then they tried to bring it back again with a different cast and kind of start over, and it just didn't work. But they did give you the ending that you wanted.
Sometimes you gotta let it die, especially if it dies on a good note.
Yep. But,
agreed.
That's one of my favorite endings to a show ever.
What about 6 Feet Under? That's one of mine.
Okay, I haven't watched it.
One of my favorites.
I haven't watched it.
I thought you did watch it right now.
I haven't watched it.
I thought you watched it. No, you started the show,
You
right?
won't watch it with me.
You started the show, didn't you?
I started one episode, and then somehow we lost HBO for a while.
Okay.
So I couldn't watch it. And now that I have it again, I want to watch it, but you won't watch it with me. But my mom will watch it with me. Because she's seen it already.
I never said watch it with you. I just said,
you told me you couldn't.
Why couldn't I watch it?
Because it's...
It's what? Too evil?
No. I don't remember your reasoning why you couldn't watch it with me.
There's no other reason. I'm going to watch it with you.
I was going to say, she might be trying to protect you right now. But she's like, you told me the reason. But...
that was like Jabari, that was like 5-6 years ago before we were married.
No, but I started watching it, and there were certain things I knew about the show already because my mom had watched it. So I knew kind of what to expect from it.
Michael C. Hall?
Yes.
I'm in. That's it. Done.
Here's one for you. Here's one thing I always tell people about the show. If you're not comfortable with real life and honest life, you probably don't want to watch that show. And what I mean by that is they're going to talk about race issues. They're going to talk. You're going to see a homosexual couple. You're going to see, you're going to see all types. You're going to see literally everything. And not everybody's comfortable with that. Like, I've got boys where they would be like, dog, I don't know how you watch that. It's like, oh, man. I'm like, yeah, but you watch Oz. Like, come on, let's stop.
Let's come back, Jabari.
So it's okay. It's okay for prison rape, but it's not okay to see another man tell another man, I love you and mean it with conviction. Like, okay, priorities here, but that's cool.
Well, that doesn't bother me.
Oh, I mean, no, I don't think I've ever. I don't know.
We watch all sorts of things with that in
Yeah.
it.
Didn't this disagreement last couple years ago start off with you guys not agreeing on weeds? Like, you liked the ending, you didn't like it, or you didn't like the ending?
I liked the ending.
Yeah, I told you over the text, I'm not going to have Lauren mad at me. I'm not going to fly Lauren out to beat me up. But the weed sucks, man. It straight sucks.
I didn't like it either.
Terrible.
I didn't like it either.
It was so bad. I love the show, and Lauren, I get why I understand why you may have liked it, because of course, it was a lighthearted show, so it wasn't to be taken all that serious to begin with. So the reason why that, the stuff that took place in the finale wouldn't bother you is because you embraced that. Me, I just wanted a little bit more, and they were just like, yeah, here you go.
Well, see, to me, it kind of ended on like a somber note. Like, she had this whole crazy shit that happened to her, and just all of this stuff kind of happened, and it just kept happening, and then it ended on like a somber note.
Yeah, I won't, I won't rehash that last conversation. I'll just say we can certainly agree to disagree.
Yes, we can agree to disagree.
Yeah, I will now go.
At least you agree with me with Dexter. If you had fought me on that one would have pissed me off even more.
I don't think anybody would fought you. I think pretty much everybody on this planet hated that ending.
Somebody liked it.
Nobody. No.
Hold on. I know somebody, and we were having this conversation. We're talking about literally the same exact conversation. I was like, yeah, worst ever is Dexter. What? I liked it. And I literally lost a little bit of respect for that. I swear to you, I lost not all respect. I didn't look at them like they were like a human piece of shit or anything like that, but I definitely looked at them and said, like, oh, okay, so my respect level was an 85, and your Madden ranking has gone down to 81. You're down. You're down. It just is.
Man card gone. All right, great podcast history. Great podcast.
Good stuff.
All right, good stuff. All right.